Welcome to the 5th episode of the many beefs of NBA YoungBoy. Today we're going to be taking a look at the beef between NBA YoungBoy and JaydaYoungan. So NBA YoungBoy and JaydaYoungan were actually pretty cool back in the day, and they actually released some songs together. And honestly, a lot of people were comparing JaydaYoungan and NBA YoungBoy together. Both came out of Louisiana, they both struggled to get money, and they both struggled to get famous in the music industry. But in 2020, that's when the beef between them officially started. JaydaYoungan would go on IG and basically post a song snippet that him and NBA YoungBoy have together. Nothing too crazy, just JaydaYoungan previewing a new song that he has with YoungBoy. Here's the big problem though. NBA YoungBoy would hop in the comment section and basically tell Jay to take the song down. Now after this exchange between JaydaYoungan and NBA YoungBoy, nothing much came of it. But then JaydaYoungan pops up back on IG and says F the song and F NBA YoungBoy. Now the beef originally didn't start with NBA YoungBoy. It actually started with NBA YoungBoy's cousin Baby Joe arguing with JaydaYoungan. Basically, JaydaYoungan started taunting NBA Baby Joe, and the two of them would actually go back and forth on IG. Then JaydaYoungan admits that him and Quando Rondo actually were talking to each other in DMs, and actually shows a DM of Quando actually asking JaydaYoungan to do a feature with him. Then the beef gets turned up a notch. NBA YoungBoy finds out that JaydaYoungan may or may not have slept with one of his baby mamas, Janiyah Michelle, which NBA YoungBoy decides to pull up on JaydaYoungan, and JaydaYoungan apparently ran away from him when he pulled up on him. NBA YoungBoy then goes live and basically starts cursing out JaydaYoungan and says that you ran. JaydaYoungan then goes live and then says people need to take NBA YoungBoy's phone, and then decides to diss NBA YoungBoy and Quando Rondo at the same time. And a couple of months later, NBA YoungBoy releases a diss track towards JaydaYoungan called Step on Shit. In the song Step on Shit, NBA YoungBoy is basically sending death threats to JaydaYoungan and basically saying if we find him, we're gonna kill him. Now after this diss song came out, JaydaYoungan would end up responding to the diss on his track 38K. In this diss song, JaydaYoungan basically says that NBA YoungBoy is mad about his ex-girlfriend Janiyah Michelle, and basically says that the two of them actually slept together. Now Janiyah would actually end up going live on IG and actually denied the rumors that she had slept with JaydaYoungan. Now these two men were basically going to war with each other. It was basically at this time period that NBA YoungBoy and JaydaYoungan were basically going back and forth on songs, and during this time period, JaydaYoungan was going at the 4K Trey Camp. Beef between them did cool down around 2021 and 2022, but unfortunately in 2022, that was unfortunately when JaydaYoungan would end up being killed. On July 27, 2022, JaydaYoungan was actually at his father's house to talk with his father and just share some drinks. 5 men ended up pulling up to his property and ended up shooting JaydaYoungan. He was rushed by helicopter to a nearby hospital, but unfortunately passed away there. Now, many people in the community actually believe that NBA YoungBoy had something to do with this, because in several tracks, you can actually hear NBA YoungBoy referencing the shooting that happened to JaydaYoungan. After JaydaYoungan's death, Quando and Little Tim actually decided to diss him, saying F JaydaYoungan. JaydaYoungan was just another catalyst in the many beefs of NBA YoungBoy, and the next episode is one of the episodes that all of you have been waiting for. The episode that everyone has probably been waiting for the longest time. In the next episode, we're going to be discussing the beef between NBA YoungBoy and King Von, which would lead to the beef between NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk.